There's no beginning to the story. The bookshelf sinks into the sand, and a language learned and forgotten turned is studied once again. It's a shocking bit of footage seen on a shitty TV screen. You can squint at it through snowy static to make out what it means, and keep stretching that antenna, hoping that it will come through. We need some reception, higher message. Please tell me what to feel.
Welcome back, friends, to the homestead. It is going to be a hot day today, Sunday morning. I did something really stupid last Friday afternoon. I ran the Yanmar out of diesel, or out of fuel. And if you've ever run a diesel out of fuel, it's tough. You got to get in and crack all the injectors. It's just something you don't want to do. So I grabbed the manual, opened it up, and to my pleasure, it is self-bleeding. So it says all you have to do is put fuel in it, turn the key on, it'll self-bleed, and start right up. To be completely candid, at my age and experience level, whenever I suffer aggravations like this, 99.9% of the time it's from, it's a direct result of laziness. I knew it was getting low and it was getting late, and like, oh, I'm almost done, just one more pass, I'm sure it'll make it, and it didn't. So, totally my fault. Several of you have been asking me for an update on the wildland fire that's just a couple miles north of here. Well, a good friend of mine who works for the Forest Service, he stopped by. He was on his coming off shift, and he'd spent the night. Him and another buddy of mine were pretty much responsible for getting the thing hooked and put out in combination with help from the DNR dozers. So that was good that they got that knocked out. We drove over there. I've got some footage from it that I'll roll in here. Of some bucket drops. All right, guys, we drove up to take a look at the fire here. Wow! And there is is that a K-Max? I don't think so. I can't tell. What is that thing? Got dropping Bambi buckets. Sweet Loaf, do you see it? Yeah. Is he dipping?
Yes. Apparently, some neighbor said they couldn't dip out of his pond.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. Okay, I see the smoke up there. We'll see if we can get you guys a little bit better view here.
That's awesome. I mean, it's sad, but it's awesome both.
Well, nobody's homes are threatened that I know of. So. Yeah, that's a counter-rotating twin rotors, and they don't make them anymore. There's only a few left. They were made for lifting and work, I believe. Yeah, you see the two propellers there, maybe? Okay, so he's dipping out of a local pond. It's at the rock quarry, maybe. There it goes.
There goes the water.
So that's called the Bambi bucket, and they come in all different sizes depending on the gallons. I actually got to be on a fire up here not too far a few years ago, and I got to do the air command or control, call helicopters in and drop buckets.
That wasn't exciting at all, was it?
Oh, it was the best day of my life, next to marrying you, of course, and the birth of my children. We are not going to be able to get any closer to the fire. Some of the roads were closed, so this is about as good as I can give to you here. So I got a lot of questions about this. I wanted to give an update on the Lube Shuttle grease gun holder. I love this thing. I was wondering if that magnet was going to hold, and it does. It's been on there for a long time through rough use, and it's just awesome. Where you get these is from Lube Shuttle. Lube Shuttle is a completely different proprietary grease system. I've done some videos on the past, but after using it, I'd never go back.
Yam ho liba, yam ho liba, yam ho liba.
Keep singing. Hurrah! Hurrah! Hurrah!
Who are you singing to, Mrs. Wranglerstar?
Wow.
Is that Morfar?
And how old is he?
Wow.
75.
All right, here we go. That is a wonderful design feature. I'm not used to having new equipment. I've always had to buy old crummy stuff, so I'm kind of in the mindset of the 1970s. I do like the new equipment though. Chickens are too tame. They don't have the good sense to get out of the way. Go on. I got it before Miss W this morning. I was downstairs having my coffee, answering some emails, and I heard an awful shrieking upstairs in the master bedroom. Mrs. W was under attack by another bat. I pulled the curtains down and grabbed them and nabbed up the bat and threw it out the window. And this is the remnant from last night. He's probably still in there. Should we check and see? Or maybe it was the maybe it was the pillow here. Hi, sweet loaf. Hold on, I'll be right there. Maybe he's under here. Is that a bat or charcoal? Good morning, my love. What are you eating for breakfast?
Chocolate and these.
Did you know that we had a bat in our room last night?
Mm-hmm. I had a bat in my room also.
It was a double bat night, so what was your experience?
I woke up at about 3:30 and I heard a little bat fluttering around my room. And I'd already had that happen to me earlier this month, so I just hid under my blankets and hoped it would go away. But
They never go away.
Yeah, this one was moving around a lot. He was flying around a lot and then scuttling around on the ground. I could hear his claws. That's how I knew it wasn't a moth.
You told me this morning you don't trust their radar.
No, I said sonar.
Taking breakfast in the office this morning. Oh, eggs, turkey bacon, English muffin, and berry bowl from our own garden. What makes you think you can have my berry bowl?
Well, I have to eat it.
But they're my berries.
But I have to use them.
Well, they're not for you, they're for me.
I can eat them.
Give me one good reason why I should give you my berry bowl.
Well, your berry bowl has full of raspberries.
Raspberries that I'm going to eat.
No.
Do you think we should share?
We should share.
All right, go ahead. All right, let's go take the mower off the tractor. We've got to backfill the septic tank. We got that pumped. Sorry, no riveting footage from that. I was down mowing when the guy came. He came pretty late. And then we got to get the fire skid out, and we've got a problem with that we're going to have to look at. I might need your help on that because I don't have the expertise that I need. So let's go get the mower pulled off. Here, guys, is a perfect example of the differences between men and women. Now me, I think it looks quite nice having all of these nice pieces of equipment and implements out in the front yard where I can admire them and keep an eye on them. Mrs. W doesn't agree. This is why we have such a happy marriage, because she's such a smart woman. She's able to get me to do whatever she wants to do, and very gently. She never nags, she never complains. She just looks at me very sweetly and asks me, could you please move those implements down there? You guys ever see a 1-inch socket? That's a ratchet for a 1-inch socket. 1/4, 3/8, half, and 1 inch. You rarely see these. If you see a guy with these in his toolbox, you know he's pretty serious. I only have them because I got them from a serious guy. My old neighbor, Henry, he was a retired heavy equipment mechanic, and he was getting rid of his stuff and having a sale, kind of a estate sale, and I went over there and said, Henry, how much you want for that 1-inch drive set? He said, well, how about $100? And I said, sold. Fine tooth ratchet. I don't know what that would cost to replace, but I'll bet it's more than $100. When you're buying ratchets, it doesn't mean, not just for the big ones, but your 3/8 drive or so, there's a coarse and there's a fine tooth on these. And if you listen to this real carefully, it's very fine, very precise. The advantage of that is if you're working in tight areas, you only have to move the ratchet a tiny bit to get a little bit of motion. So if you got a tight spark plug or something, you can actually get it out. Some of those coarse ratchets are so coarse that you have to move it quite a ways, 7-8 degrees or so before the pawl will engage, and they can really cause you problems. So I don't think they're as strong, the fine tooth, if I remember, but they sure are handy.